from Bernalillo County and the County Commission, Debbie O'Malley joins us here at the big round table, along with Mayling Armijo. Mayling is, I want to get your title right, Director of Bernalillo County Economic Development. It's good to meet you and have you here.
Thank you.
Debbie and I were just talking. I'm so used to you being on the city council. Right. You get this all the time, right? When did you switch and you were elected to the county commission last November, right?
Yeah. And so I was a counselor for 9 years.
Right.
And so I've been a commissioner now for quite a few months.
Oh.
Not a big adjustment, was it?
Not that big of an adjustment, but it's different.
It's different.
Yeah. So I'm learning a lot.
Well, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Erin.
And you do the economic development for the county, is that right?
Correct. I oversee economic development, which includes the film office and special events.
And we just had a big announcement in New Mexico with film yesterday, is that right?
Which one? The Lone Ranger or?
I heard that the governor made us kind of the capital of film yesterday.
Well, I'm unfamiliar with that part, but we definitely are ranked very high when it comes to film. So
yeah,
it's pretty exciting.
So do we have anything coming to expect for the future?
Well, we have several productions being filmed now, and one big production that is using the set that the Lone Ranger used. So and a couple of productions that are scouting the area. A big resource for the county is the old jail, RCC.
Yeah.
So a lot of productions, including the Breaking Bad, the last season of Breaking Bad, was at the RCC. So we have a lot of good assets, including the old county courthouse, the jail in the basement. A lot of people that think they're haunted, but the film companies enjoy it. So I can see why the governor would make such a statement. It is, we definitely have a lot of good resources and a lot of good backdrop that make it a place for film.
Now, we've talked to some folks in the county, and I got to say I'm real impressed that the county spends a lot of time focusing on small business growth and that kind of thing. Maybe much more than the city does, and you'd be the one to draw that comparison, Debbie.
I am very impressed with the program that the county has. They've put a lot of resources, and they've hired some really good people. And we're here to talk about this really great program. It's called an Increment of One.
Yeah.
And Mayling can explain the details of it. But we're going to have this really great event coming up here. Is this tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
Yes,
tomorrow
morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Okay.
Good timing.
And it's called Buen Provecho.
Ew.
And which is, I guess, another word for bon appetit, or enjoy your meals. And it's really focused on the small local restaurants and really helping restaurants to succeed. That's the idea behind it. And of course, Bernalillo County is all about supporting the economy and creating jobs. So this ties right into it.
And this is part of the Increment of One program,
Increment
right?
of One program, and Mayling could
So what, a few years back, Vince Murphy, in working with the county, came up with the idea of if we got 600 small businesses to create one job, that's 600 jobs, and you can't beat it because that's better than any big announcement or big company coming in. And so we ran with that idea, but the question was how do we get that small business to get to the next step where they are hiring them?
Sure.
So part of that is the Increment of One initiative, and really bringing together resources and experts to help each other. So in the past, we put these summits together, and what we try to do is we try to focus on different areas. Our last summit was focused on women-owned businesses, and so we got different businesses that were women-owned to share their expertise with other women. Commissioner O'Malley has a number of restaurants in her district, and felt that this was a good initiative to let's support restaurants. And so what we wanted to do was bring experts from the restaurant industry to talk to people who are considering doing it or who who own a restaurant and say, hey, you know what, if I could just get some good advice, I could maybe figure out what I need to do to get to that next step to hiring that one more person. And so we have Jim Garcia, who you have on the show later. He's going to be on our panel. And we have Yashoda Naidu from Annapurna's is going to be on there. And she has a great story, really, really interesting story. And Mike Spin, was from Spins, yes, who is also part of the Increment of One, who participated with one of our partners and is one of our success stories. So he'll be there, and so we are going to have it at Paco's International Smoke Cuisine, which is a new restaurant.
And we
had Paco on the show last week.
Yes, so if you if you haven't had their cuisine or gone to the restaurant, definitely go there. It's excellent food, and it's located at 3851 Rio Grande Boulevard Northwest at 7:30 tomorrow morning. So when you're done with this, Larry, you can come on. You can come on down.
Good stuff.
Good plan.
You know, I want to take this back a little bit. That sometimes the perception is, and I think correctly so, the government doesn't listen to what's really going on in the community, especially the business community. And I want to compliment Bernalillo County for actually talking to these people who are on the ground making jobs, trying to make a living doing what they do, and you seem very interested in exactly how that happens and what the county can do to help.
You know, government has these tools for large businesses, recruitment and things like that.
We don't want to land the big factory.
Yeah, right, exactly. But of course, you know, small business is a major employer in the country, and so that's why we wanted to focus on helping those in small businesses, because we don't have those bigger tools that they can use. And then, you know, they don't have the resources to even apply for these bigger, you know, resources. And so it's good.
And what's important, just to tag on to the commissioner, is that we don't end the conversation. You know, we help with these small businesses, whether it's restaurants or small manufacturing. And we say, okay, here's the resources to get you to the next step. But we don't end the conversation, because we want to get them to the point where we're like, okay, guess what? You qualify for those big incentives, so let's get you there. And so we want to continue the relationship and continue helping them grow.
So then what's that process like for those small businesses that need more resources and they go to Bernalillo County? I mean, is there a lot that you help them with? Do they go through certain seminars, workshops? I mean, what kind of resources are available for them?
It's a community approach. We work with, we have strategic partners through the SBDC, the Loan Fund, Westcor, Axion, the small business support group through Sandia. I mean, there's just so many resources in New Mexico and in Albuquerque to help small businesses. And so depending on what they come to us and say, hey, you know, I have this idea, I'm not too sure, and we're saying, okay, well, where are you with the business plan, or where are you with predicting your performas and whatnot? And sometimes they have an answer, sometimes they don't. So we kind of gauge it, and we work really closely with our partners. And I'll call Leroy at the Loan Fund and I say, hey, this guy needs, you know, $20,000. He has this, and Leroy's like, well, let me talk to him. I'll see what I can do. And then Leroy's like, well, I think this is where you need to be. And maybe we'll say, go back to the SBDC and talk to somebody about, you know, getting your marketing done or something. So we work all together. It's really a community approach. It's not just Bernalillo County. It's partners, and it's everybody. And it really is. It really does take a village sometimes.
And that's how it should be, because we are a community, and without our small businesses, we're in trouble.
Oh yeah, we're in a lot of trouble.
No, it's been a very successful program. I think we were looking at some of the numbers the other day.
Right.
You know, how many companies have we helped? It's like
30 companies have received cost-effective loans from the Bernalillo County Revolving Loan Fund, which is managed by Leroy's group. Half of these companies are women-owned. These companies have added 44 new jobs in total, and these companies generated more than $8 million in gross receipts.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing.
A big
$8
number.
million.
That's nice.
That is amazing.
You know, it's just grassroots stuff. You got to grow it from the inside out, and that's how everybody's going to get out of this economic mud that we're in. And, and you just do it one person at a time. This is fantastic. Good numbers.
Yeah,
Leroy's an interesting guy too. We've had him here, and he's so enthusiastic and a lot of fun to work with, I bet.
Yes, He's never short for words.
No.
Or advice, so
No.
we're always happy to talk to Leroy.
And it's really great not to get on this, go women approach, but I mean, women are really stepping up to the plate too, as far as starting their own small businesses, really being entrepreneurs. So it's great to see that the numbers are going up for the women.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to wrap this little segment here. We're going to come back and talk about the taste of New Mexico a little bit and a few other county items, if you don't mind.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
This is all very good news. And,
Good.
And we're going to put the website address for the county up here. And I know you want to hear from people, Commissioner. That's always what it's about, right?
You're right. That's what it's about.